Hi, I'm creating this video for an upcoming fingerprint class that's going to be happening at Silverton Art Association for Mother's Day, and so I wanted to just show you a quick video about how to use the mold compound. It comes in two parts, white and lavender. It gets more lavender as you mix it together. You take two even parts, and I'm going to measure this out for you, so don't worry, it's going to come in two separate little baggies, and then you'll be able to put them together yourself, and I'll measure it out so you won't have to guess that. I'll also send some written information via email, and I'll also print something out with the compound when you pick it up, or whatever we work out with that. But the mold probably should be done prior to class so that you have something to work on when you come to class. It'll be difficult if you don't have a fingerprint or the print you want to use, but you can certainly create anything you want, and you don't have to do a fingerprint if you don't want to. So that being said, here are the two parts. They're silicone and they're cold, so you never have any issues with that. Two even parts of this will come in two separate baggies. They'll be blended together. What you'll do is you'll blend them together with your hands. They'll be very mushy, and it'll be really silly putty-ish, easy to take apart, and kind of it will seem very malleable and very like it won't set up, but it actually sets up and becomes pretty flexible. So what you do is you put the two pieces together, you roll it out in an even kind of, you're going to want maybe a flat surface. You can use a roller like this at home. You can use a perfectly round pencil. You can use a regular wooden rolling pin if you have that. Sometimes those are a little bit heavy, and when you have the mushy compound, it can be too heavy for it. It might be better to shoot for something that's a little bit lighter. So if you have a perfectly round tool, something like this, that will work as well. Or if you have something, and it needs to be fairly smooth so you get a smooth front surface. So when you roll it out, and here it is rolled out, it's going to be small, and you just take your fingerprint, and the fingerprint should probably be as clean and dry as possible to get a really good one. You place the finger on the mold compound like this. It'll be either a child's or an adult's, and just give it a nice full press on all corners, all edges of the fingerprint. You're just going to want to hold that there probably 25 seconds at the, you don't need to even go that long if you've got a baby or somebody that's not interested in sitting, 2-year-old or whatever. You don't need to have that happen really, but it is nice to get you'll get a better mold, you'll get a better fingerprint if you can get a few seconds out of it. So you just wait for, I'm gonna wait maybe another few seconds here, and then you can go ahead and take it off. Your mold compound really won't be ready to move for a while. And the testing that I do with it, because it will get pretty rubbery, and I'll grab another mold that I have handy here to show you in a second about what it looks like when it's done, is I just take my fingernail on the edge, and if I can make a little mark in it, it's not set up. So I wouldn't move it. Just let it set. Now you have a nice fingerprint in there. You can kind of see it. It's difficult with this lighting and with this camera, but what I'll do is I'll show you when it's set up. The mold compound, when it's actually completely set up, looks like this. It gets really rubbery, and this was a twig mold that I took, and you can kind of see how rubbery it gets. But it will hold, it never breaks apart. It's permanent. And you can see the edges on that. It's really a nice looking twig mold. And I have a couple of fingerprints of my kids around here somewhere too. So you don't need very much mold if you've got a very small kid, and you need multiple fingerprints. It's probably better to do individual fingerprints if you're doing more than one, so not doing 3 on one piece of molding, just because it'll be easier to roll out individual pieces of metal clay with the individual pieces of the molding. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys about the ages of your kids and the different things that you're going to need. And I know someone else is going to be doing a dog, so we're going to talk a little bit about that too, or I can talk to her personally. So it's still not ready. It takes, I'm guessing, 10 minutes. I think it says 5 minutes on here, but it really takes closer to 10 for it to be fully set up. So you've got just a window of opportunity that's not very long. Let's say you have a little one that's running around. It might be good to have them really kind of handy and ready to do this. When you roll it out initially, it might be a little bit too sticky to do it. So roll it out, give yourself about 30 seconds to a minute. It'll get nice and firm, or it'll firm up a little bit, and then you'll be able to get a better mold than if it was really super mushy. But there's not a lot of pressure on this. It's pretty easy to handle. I'll also send home written instructions for you as well as email instructions, so you will have hopefully it will all be very clear, and if it's not, you can feel free to call me at any time. So that's pretty much it on the mold compound. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up now. You can't really see it, but you kind of get the idea that it has a fingerprint in it. You've got a couple of seconds, like if I wanted to re-roll this and try again because I wasn't happy with how it went, you do have maybe a couple of minutes, but you don't have 10. If once it sets up and you can kind of see it's already getting there. It's hard to roll out and manage. So keep that in mind when you're setting up to do this. Give yourself at least 30 minutes to work on it, and give yourself some space, maybe a flat surface, a little bit of a rolling pin or whatever you can use around your house that will work, that will create a nice flat surface. Make sure that you have the kiddo on hand or the dog, and with dogs it's really important that the nose is completely dry, otherwise you will not get a really good mold. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, bye-bye.